So you don't need any props. It will, if you have blocks and you like using them, just put them up near the front corners of your mat. And then maybe a towel or a blanket, if you have a yoga blanket, just have it nearby in case you want it for Shavasana. It's cold in upstate New York today. And when we get started, we are going to begin in a child's pose. And I'm going to start in just like a minute. I'm going to go over to my mat though. And you can hang out in child's pose or maybe sitting up on your heels in hero's pose. And welcome. So you'll set up your child's pose near the back half of your mat. And then, if you're pregnant or if it just feels better to you, you can widen your legs. So sort of customize the width of your thighs as feels best to you. And we're not going to spend a long time here, but when you come to your child's pose, do an extended child's pose for this first one so that your arms are straight and your hands are reaching as far away from you as you can, with your seat as heavy on the heels as you can make it. And then each time you breathe in, without moving your hands, energetically pull them back toward your knees and see if that can help you crawl your heart and forehead forward, sort of like an inchworm moving. And then each time you exhale, you'll do the opposite. Push your hands forward energetically and see if that helps you heavy your seat on the heels. Okay, so you'll breathe in, energetically pulling the hands forward, maybe inching the front spine a little longer. And then a calm exhale, push the hands energetically forward. The seat comes back to the heel. One more, breathing in, really long the spine. And then an exhale, heavy the forehead. Okay, so now press through your hands well. And inhale, come forward to a hands and knees position. And then just make sure that your microphone is muted. Somebody is not, so just check and make sure. And then you'll turn your fingertips out to the sides, and you can see me doing it here. Press down really well through your hands, and then imagine you have a sesame seed along the thumb side of the palm and one underneath the pinky side of the palm, and crush those two sesame seeds really firmly to the mat. And keep that feeling. The next time you breathe in, without swaying your hips to the left, just start to reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. So you'll be in a little bit of a twist in the upper spine. And then without actually moving your left hand on your mat, pull it out to the left side of your mat and see if that helps you maybe revolve a bit more. And then imagine that you have a magnet on the back of your left seat, pulling it up towards the ceiling. Good. Taking just about 2 more breaths. Flex your right wrist as well and try to push the ceiling away as much as you're pushing the floor away with your left hand. 1 more. Get a little longer in the spine. And then as you exhale, you'll lower your right hand down. You can keep the hands like this, or if it's available to you, you turn your fingertips back. That might feel like too much so early in class. And then you'll breathe in and pick your heart forward and up, cow spine. And exhale, round yourself into cat. And remember those 2 sesame seeds on the inner and outer edges of the palms. Crush them down, breathing in through cow. And exhale, push the floor away. Hollow the belly into cat. 1 more like that, breathing in, wide in the chest. And exhale, round back forward into cat. Okay, and then you'll turn your fingertips forward, lower your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then walk your knees back so it's like you're in a forearm plank with the knees down. So this is option 1, stay here. Option 2 would be to lift the knees up off the floor. You'll take a big breath in through the nose, and then exhale, purge all of the breath out of the mouth. Seal your lips closed, breathe in halfway, and we'll take a round of Kapalabhati. So sharp exhales out of the nose. You keep going like that, and I'll explain it if you don't know it very well. So each exhale is sharp out of the nose. The inhale is very passive. It's almost like an automatic thing that happens. And You'll see if you can keep the rest of the body very still as the belly is pumping. If you're pregnant or if this makes you feel anxious in any way, stick with Ujjayi breath. We're going to be here about 15 more seconds. Relax your eyes. And if you want to take a calmer Kapalabhati, maybe you do it at about 30 or 50% of your effort instead of 100. Then you'll start to slow it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay empty for a moment, really strong in your legs. And then you'll seal the lips and breathe in through the nose. Stay full of breath, tuck your chin to your chest. Think Jalandhara Bandha if you know it. And then as you exhale, you'll walk your knees back forward and then just come right back up onto your hands and knees. You'll turn your fingertips back out, find your 2 sesame seeds, inner and outer edges of the palms. Press them down, keep crushing them. And then without swaying your hips to your right, pick your left arm out to the side, and then you'll begin to twist the left chest up towards the ceiling. Good. Your hips will probably want to sway right. Draw the tip of your tail over to your left. Without moving your right hand, energetically pull it out to the right side of the mat and see if as a result that helps you revolve a little more to the ceiling. Good. Stay with it and see if you can flex your left wrist and push your left heel of your hand up to the ceiling as much as you're pushing the right hand through the floor. Good. Try not to back bend or crank the back of the neck. You have 1 more breath. Revolve, revolve, revolve. And then on your exhalation, you'll lower the hands back down. And then maybe again, you turn the fingertips back towards your knees or you keep them out to the sides. Okay, and then this time we're going to circle around. Keep pressing the sesame seeds down, outer and inner edges of the palm. And you'll breathe in. The spine stays parallel to the floor. You'll circle around to the right. The seat will come back towards your heels as you exhale. Come back center. Do that just once more to the right. Breathing in. Circle around, especially pressing through the pinky sides of the palms. And back through the center. Then we'll do 2 to the left. Inhaling up and around to the left. Reaching back, exhale around. Last one, breathing in and breathing out. Good. Come right back to the center. Turn your fingertips back forward. And then you'll come back to sit on your heels and round your way up to sit. If this isn't comfortable right on the heels, you can sit in Sukhasana with the shins crossed or sit up on a block or a pillow. We won't be here long. You'll bring your left hand to the heart center and press your right hand on top of the left. Doing all of this without any tension in the shoulders as best you can. And then we'll start all together with an Om. And as you Om, imagine that the sound of the Om is coming up and out of the crown of the head like a fountain and sort of reaching your fellow classmates or anyone you'd like your vibrations of your Om to touch. Taking a big breath in for Om. But as you breathe in smoothly, you might feel the breath rise up into the chest, maybe feel it in your palms. And then don't lose any of that height as you exhale and just release your hands down by your sides. Okay, flutter your eyes open, take your time, and we'll come back into child's pose again with the width of your legs that's comfortable for you. And then prop yourself up on high fingertips. When you inhale, imagine a magnet pulling the crown of your head forward, maybe beyond the front edge of your mat. Your shoulders might go beyond your wrists. And then you'll exhale, tuck your toes, and come back to child's pose. Same thing, but add your right leg. So as you breathe in, extend your right leg behind you, ball the foot on the floor. Maybe you go past your wrists with the shoulders. And then you'll exhale, come back to child's pose with the toes tucked. And then last thing, adding on inhale, same thing, shift forward, but this time lift your right leg up behind you. Okay, plant your right hand as we had it before with the fingertips pointing out to the sides. And then reach your left arm out to the left, trying not to sway your hips in either direction. Nothing moves in the pelvis as you start to revolve the left arm up towards the ceiling. Good. And then maybe you flex the wrist and push the ceiling away. Stay 2 more breaths. Hug your right leg in towards the midline. You can always keep the right toes down if you need. Take 1 more breath. Reach up, up, up through the left wrist. And then as you exhale, lower your left hand down under your left shoulder. Okay, come up high on your right fingertops and start to turn your right leg out like a half moon Ardha Chandrasana leg. You can keep the right fingertips down the whole time, or maybe you'll start to lift your right arm up and again flex at the wrist and try to push the ceiling away with the right hand if it's lifted. Good. And then notice here if your back bending, sort of collapsing in the low back. Soften your front ribs in and try to lengthen the tail. Good. And then find a line from the crown of your head to your right heel and make it longer by an inch or 2. Take 1 more breath like this. Inhaling. Good. Now listen, as you exhale, bend your right knee and your right elbow and connect them. They're sort of hovering in space. If your right fingertips are down, you can do the same thing which I'm showing here. When you breathe in, you'll extend back into your half moon variation, both limbs long. And then twice more like that, exhale, right elbow to right knee. Use the belly to help you keep your left butt underneath you. Inhale, extend without back bending. And last one, really slowly exhale, knee to the elbow. Good, and then you'll plant your right fingertops right under the shoulder, knee to the elbow still, and then you'll step your right foot outside of your right hand like lizard. Okay, and then take a breath in, press down through your right fingertips, and start to lift your left arm up so it'll feel a little bit like extended side angle. You can always bring the right forearm on the thigh, which I'm showing, or keep your right fingertips down. And then sweep your left arm overhead and feel your own right buttock. I have my hand on my right buttock sort of helping me. Draw your right seat through and underneath you towards the left side of your mat. Good. Take 1 more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you'll lower your hands back down under the shoulders. Tuck your back toes under, straighten through both of your legs, and then like water, just let the head sort of pour down towards the floor. And 3 times breathing in, you'll tap the back knee, tilt the heart up, and you'll exhale smoothly, straighten the legs, bow the head. Breathe in, bend your knees, lift the chest. Exhale, softly bow forward. 1 more, breathe in, lifting the heart. And breathe out, straighten and fold. Okay, now plant your palms down, rebend your right knee, and try to pluck your right foot up off the floor. And then you'll cross the right leg in front of the left, so you'll be in a cross-legged plank. The ankles are crossed. Squeeze your inner thighs together, compact the outer hips in. When you exhale, you'll draw your left knee towards your nose and then cross the left ankle in front of the right. So now your right foot will pluck up and you're pressing through the ball of the left foot. Breathe in. And we'll do that once more. Exhale, right knee toward your nose. And sort of weave the right leg back in front. Pluck the left toes up. Cross-legged plank. The knees can always be down, which I'm showing here if you're confused. Okay, and then we'll roll over onto the outer edge of your right foot. Keep your ankles crossed, so now they're sort of scissored on the floor for a side plank on the right hand. And then if you'd like, you can keep the knees down. So I'm showing that here. Otherwise, both legs straight. And then sweep the left arm alongside the left ear. Take a big breath in and lengthen your tail. Squeeze the legs together to support you. And when you exhale, come back to your cross-legged plank. Either knees down or lifted. You're on the ball of the right foot. The left foot is sort of floating. And then you'll slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Good. Squeeze the inner legs together. Sweep your arms behind you. And Shalabhasana. Good, you sort of hook your own ankles around one another. Maybe you even hook the toes. And see if you can use this hugging in of the midline to sort of find a little more strength in the legs, a little more power there to take some of the effort out of the back. Press your pubic bone down, reach your arms up a little higher behind you and then closer together. Take another breath in, back of the neck long. And when you exhale, you'll plant your hands down, uncross your feet, and then come back to child's pose, high on your fingertips. Take a breath in here, and you'll exhale very softly. Same thing, other side, you'll breathe in, pull yourself forward, shoulders beyond the wrists, and exhale, still high on the fingertips, come back to child's pose. Now add your left leg behind you, breathe in, bring the ball of the foot to the mat, and exhale, return back to child's pose with the toes tucked. The last one, breathing in, float your left leg up. Keep the pelvis nice and level. Good, and then you'll lower the right hand flat, turn the fingertips out as we did earlier. Left hand, turning the fingertips out, right underneath your shoulder. And then reach your right arm out to the side. Try not to sway your hips either way. And then you'll revolve any amount. Reach up through your right wrist. Try to push the ceiling away. And pick your left buttock up. Good. Taking just about one more big breath. Get longer in the spine. Inhale. Good. When you exhale, you'll lower the right hand down, fingertips turned out. Come up high on your left fingertips. Hug your right buttock underneath you. Let that be what initiates the movement. And then start to open up your left hip for a half moon variation in the hips. Keep your left fingertips down, or maybe you play with floating the left arm up. And then flexing at the wrist, push the ceiling away. And then absorbing the front ribs in, getting longer from the crown of your head where we shot the Om out of the head. Reach that further forward as your left heel goes further back. Good. One more inhale here. Right butt hugging underneath you. And then on your exhale, very slowly, left knee comes towards your left elbow. Your chest will turn slightly to the floor. And then as you breathe in, you'll come back to your half moon variation. 2 more like that. Exhale with resistance. Left knee, left elbow. And inhale, extend. Remember the left fingertips can be down this whole time. Last one, exhale, elbow to knee. And inhale, extend. Good. Now as you exhale, elbow to knee, plant your left fingertips down. And then you'll step your left foot outside of your left hand. Take a breath in. Pull the heart forward and up. And then exhale, float the hips up and back, straightening the legs. 2 more, breathing in, roll forward. And exhale, straighten. Breathe in, come forward. And breathe out to fold. But as you breathe in, rebend the knee, tap your back knee down, and then you can be high on the fingertips, the left fingertips, as you lift your right arm up, like extended side angle. You could also come up onto the left forearm, which I'm showing. Good. Try to keep your right shin parallel to the long side of the mat, and then sweep your right arm up alongside your right ear. And try to turn your left chest under your right chest. Good, and then maybe use your hand to help you hug your left buttock right underneath you. Good, take 1 more big breath. And then on your exhalation, you'll lower your hands back down, right underneath the shoulders. Pick the back knee up, it'll feel like a lizard pose. Push through your hands, pick your left foot up, draw the knee towards your nose, and then you'll thread the left leg back, crossing at the ankles for a cross-legged plank. Your right foot will come up, you'll press the ball of the left foot. And on your exhalation, right knee towards your nose, and then slowly cross, right leg in front of left. Remember the knees could be down. Last one, exhale, left knee towards your nose,
cross-legged plank, breathe in. And then we'll turn onto the left palm. Your feet will be sort of scissored on the mat, or you lower your knees down. Reach your right arm up. Good, and then try to squeeze your legs really firmly to the midline. Feel the whole inseam of the leg wake up and light up. Good, you'll take just about one more breath here. Compact the outer hips in. On your exhale, return to your cross-legged plank. Good, you're on the ball of the left foot. Breathe in. And then squeeze the legs together as you lower all the way to the floor on your exhale. Hug the legs even tighter together. Hook the feet around one another, the ankles around one another as you lift up. Shalabhasana. This time, float your arms out to the sides. And imagine your wrists getting wider and wider as your legs get more and more compact. Chest wider, hips narrower. Good, one more breath. And then you'll plant your hands, uncross your feet. Take a breath in for low cobra this time. And you'll exhale, return back to child's pose, tuck your toes, be high on the fingertips. On your inhale, come forward, shoulders go beyond the wrists. Exhale, return back to your child's pose. Right leg back, ball the foot on the floor, breathe in, shoulders go forward. And exhale, come back, child's pose. Inhale, reach your right leg up. As you exhale, plant the right hand, lift your left arm up to twist, take a breath in. On your exhale, lower the left hand down. Breathing in, half moon, maybe the right arm lifts, maybe it doesn't. On your exhale, right knee to right elbow and plant your right fingertips down. Step your right foot outside of the right hand, take a breath in, lift your chest up. Take a breath out, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, rebend the right knee. Exhale, come to extended side angle, left arm up, and then you'll tuck your back toes under, stay low in your hips as you pivot your left heel down. Take an inhalation, sweep your left arm alongside the left ear. And then on your exhale, a floating triangle, straighten your right leg, reach your right fingertips down, but hover them off of the right shin. And then hook your thumbs, take another big breath in, reach your right rib cage longer than your left. And as you exhale, parallel your feet and come to a wide-legged forward fold. On your inhalation, come back to triangle. So you're just going to try to watch as your right buttock turns underneath you, the right toes out, left arm lifts. And then as you exhale, circle the left arm down, parallel your feet, forward fold. Do that once more. Right buttock hugs underneath you. Breathe in, a floating triangle. And exhale, circle the left arm, parallel the feet, bow the head. On your inhalation, come back to lizard to your right foot. Exhale, pluck the foot up and cross at the ankles. Right ankle in front of the left. Breathing in. And as you exhale, your cross-legged side plank on the right hand. Take an inhale to sweep the left arm overhead. Exhale, keep the legs crossed as you come all the way down to the floor. Reach your arms back, squeeze the legs together. Inhale, Shalabhasana, inner thighs especially. And as you exhale, lower down, uncross the feet. Plant your fingertips, chin to chest. Inhale, roll up a little higher, maybe medium cobra. And exhale, come back to the floor. Inhale, press up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes as you exhale, child's pose, high on the fingertips. Inhale, last time like this, shoulders beyond the wrists. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, extend the left leg back, ball the foot on the floor. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, left leg up. As you exhale, plant the left palm. You reach the right arm out to the side. Breathing in, revolve. And as you exhale, lower the right hand down. Open the left hip, half moon, breathing in. The left fingertips can stay down. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Plant your left fingertips as you step the left foot outside the hand. Take a breath in, lift the chest, pelvis forward. And then exhale to straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, rebend the left knee. Back knee down. And then you'll exhale and open up into extended side angle so the hand can stay down, or you can bring the forearm on top of the thigh. Now tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee, and then pivot the right heel down. You'll be in your extended side angle. Good. Take a big breath in here. Reach your right arm alongside your right ear. And then slowly push your feet into the floor and lift your torso up a little bit for floating triangle as you straighten the legs. Good. Sweep your right arm overhead if it's not already. Lift the left arm by the left ear and then hook your thumbs. Breathe in. Make your left wrist longer than your right wrist. Turn the heart up to the ceiling. Good. And then you'll parallel the feet and bow forward to Prasarita Padottanasana. Good. Now initiating the movement. Watch your left buttock hug underneath you to externally rotate the left leg to triangle on the inhale. And then the exhale brings you to Prasarita. We'll do that just once more. Left buttock hugs under. The top of the left thigh turns to the front of your mat. Breathing in. And you'll exhale. Float back, forward, fold. Come to lizard to your left foot. Breathe in, plant the hands. And then you'll exhale, pick the foot up and cross the left ankle under the right. Hug the thighs together. You'll breathe out as you come to extended side plank, Inhale, reach your right arm alongside the right ear. Exhale, back to your cross-legged plank. You're on the ball of the left foot. And then lower slowly down to the floor, hugging the outer thighs in like crazy. Now try not to turn your legs out. Feel the tops of your thighs spin up to the ceiling as you squeeze your legs together. Shalabhasana, arms to the side. Breathe in, press the pubic bone down. And then you'll exhale, uncross the legs, plant the fingertips, medium or high cobra as you breathe in. And take your time as you lower on the exhale. Plant the hands, breathe in, come to hands and knees. And this time into downward facing dog, our first one of class. Give you about 5 breaths. Using this place of stillness to find your inhale and exhale with a clear, single-pointed focus. Everything else is still happening around you, but you are choosing right now, the next couple of breaths, to focus as much of your attention as you can on the breath in and experience the breath going out. And then take a slow walk up to the top of your mat, or you're welcome to hop. When you get there, inhale, reach your sternum forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Breathe in, press into your feet, Urdhva Hastasana, round or hinge up. And you'll exhale, come to Mountain Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Breathe in, reach your chest forward. Exhale, hop or step. This is our first chaturanga. The knees can always come down. You can skip it. Take a breath in, any size back bend, maybe it's cow. And on your exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. And then again, stillness. As soon as you can, tap into the breath. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Inhale 2. Slowly exhale. One more like that, breathing in. And breathe out.
Prepare as you like on your inhalation, and then you'll either hop or step forward as you exhale. And a slow, patient breath in to come to a long front spine. Exhale, bow forward. Breathe in, sweep your arms up. And exhale, land in mountain. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, sternum beyond the front edge of your mat. Keep it reaching as you exhale. Hop or step, hands and knees or chaturanga. Inhale to back bend. Exhale, Adho Mukha. About 3 breaths again. About 1 more. And the next time you breathe in, you'll prepare. And on your exhalation, hop or step forward. So take a breath in, long spine. Exhale, fold back into your legs. Breathe in, dig your heels through the floor to help you come up, rounding or hinging. Exhale in mountain pose. So I'm going to continue with 2 more sun salutations, but I'm not going to say anything. If there's any other movement you want, it's a sort of yogi's choice for about 1.5 minutes. We're all going to land back at the top of your mat, but I'll give you sort of a countdown when we're getting close. So either a couple more rounds of sun salutations on your own or any movement you want. And you can follow along with me if you wish, but again, I will stop talking. You've got about another 8 or so breaths. Meet us back at the top of the mat in any shape you'd like. Two or three more breaths to come to the front edge of your mat. And then wherever you've landed, you'll bring your right hand to the heart center, left hand on top of that, and take just about 3 or so smooth breaths sort of as we began class. Noticing heartbeat, breath, any micro movements in the body as you breathe.
Good, and then you'll release your arms down by your sides. If you have a block, you'll grab it. You could also use like a towel or a pillow where you don't need anything at all. I'll show with the block at first, but then I'll put it down and just do it with my hands. So you're gonna have your feet wide. This is meant to be a disorganized movement. Everything else we're doing is pretty precise. This is just kind of no right or wrong way to do it. Have your feet in a wide, comfortable place so that you feel balanced. And basically you're just gonna take your hands down through the bottom, draw a big circle, and then send it off to the right. And then you'll go down through the bottom around to the left and send it off to the left. Okay, so we're just going to do this for a minute. If this turns into something else for you, do that instead. Any kind of like flourishments, if you want to add a jump, there might be sort of a rotation as you throw it off to one side or the other. You can make this movement very small, very big. We're about halfway through. Speed it up, slow it down. Somewhere in between the two extremes. Good, about 15 more seconds. Try bending the knees more as you go through the center so it might feel almost like a squat. And then give it your all these last 7 or so seconds. Make sure you go off to the left last, that'll be your last side. And then you'll just stand with your feet about hip width apart at the top of your mat in mountain pose. And then you'll bring your arms behind you. So you might grab on opposite forearms. If you like the feeling of a prayer behind the back, you're welcome to that. And then land and observe your transition from a lot of activity, global movements in the body, and then sort of pull your periphery into your center and find your breath there, find your legs and feet. Three more breaths without clenching the jaw. Just about one more slow inhalation. Fill the low back, fill the kidneys with breath. And then a calm exhale. Okay, open your eyes if they're closed. You'll interlace the hands behind you, feel comfortable interlacing. And then breathe in and back bend. Try to lift the back of your heart and the front of your hips. Then as you exhale, you'll pull your left heel up towards your seat. Use the hamstring. Good. On an inhalation, tip forward, warrior 3. And on an exhale, bow forward any amount, standing split. You can always release the hands to the floor. Okay, on your inhale, warrior 2. Ground your back heel, open the arms wide. Exhale to extended side angle. Inhale, straighten both of your legs, parallel your feet, lift the arms up. And you'll exhale, open warrior 2 to your left foot now. Same transition, breathe in, straighten the legs, lift the arms. This time, exhale to triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good, take a breath in to low lunge to your right foot. And on your exhale, a figure 4 down dog, or you could take tree pose with the right foot. Keep that position in the legs. Inhale, come forward to plank. The knee could always be down, but try to lift your right knee up to the ceiling. As you exhale, lower slowly down onto the belly. And then plant your fingertips, breathe in, press your pubic bone down, and roll your way up into some kind of cobra. As you exhale, return back down, straighten both of the legs. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in and float your right leg up behind you. On your exhale, step your right foot forward. And then listen, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Come up to stand. Inhale. And then you'll exhale, stand in mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay, opposite interlacing behind you. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, bring your right heel towards the seat. Feel the hamstring turn on. Inhale, tip forward, warrior three. Hands can come down at any point. And you'll exhale, bow the forehead like standing split. Okay, a big step back, nice and light. Inhaling to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, straighten the legs, lift the arms, parallel feet. And you'll exhale, warrior two to the right foot. Breathe in, straighten the legs, parallel feet, lift the arms. Exhale, triangle pose to the left leg. As you breathe in, come to a low lunge to your left foot. And then exhale, ankle to knee in down dog or tree pose. Pick your left buttock up. Breathing in, keep the legs plank. Try to lift the outer left knee up to the ceiling. Keep that as you exhale and lower down. Good, you'll inhale, any size cobra. Left buttock muscles are awake. And you'll exhale, straighten the legs, make your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg up. Exhale, step to the left thumb. Good. Right knee to right elbow. Hug your seat underneath you as you come up to stand. And you'll exhale, stand in mountain Tadasana. Once more each side. Comfortable interlacing. Breathe in, lift the chest. Exhale, left heel to the seat. Inhale, reach into your warrior three. Exhale, standing split. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Extended side angle as you breathe out. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the arms. Exhale, left foot, warrior 2. Breathe in, straighten the legs, lift the arms. Breathe out, triangle pose. A low lunge on your inhalation. Either tree or figure four as you exhale and down dog. Inhale, forward to plank, keep the legs. Exhale, lower all the way down. Any size cobra on the fingertips as you inhale. And then you'll exhale, straighten the legs as you come back into down dog. Breathe in, right leg up. Exhale, step to the thumb. Left knee towards the elbow, it might not touch. And keep it there as you hug your left seat underneath you to come up on your breath in. And you'll exhale, stand in mountain. Last time, opposite interlacing. Breathe in, lift the chest. Exhale, right heel towards your seat. Tip forward, warrior three on your breath in. And then a standing split as you breathe out. Warrior two, land with the right big toe to catch you. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Take your time. Breathe in through the middle. Straight legs. Lift the arms. To your right foot as you exhale, warrior two. Pass through the center. Breathe in, lift the arms. Triangle pose to your left leg on your exhale. Low lunge, breathing in. Figure four or tree on your breath out, in down dog. Keep the legs, inhale, plank. And then lower all the way to the belly, exhale. Low or high cobra, breathing in. Exhale, extend the left leg back. We'll meet in down dog. Breathe in, left leg up behind you. Exhale, step forward. Right knee towards right elbow. And round your way up. Press through your left foot. Come up to any height. You'll exhale, step the legs in mountain. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Either hop or step your feet back into downward facing dog. And then we'll meet back in a child's pose with your toes tucked. And remember, if child's pose doesn't feel great to you, which it doesn't for many of us, maybe don't go so low. And then we'll pause here for just about 2 more breaths. Slow your inhale. Observe the exhale. Pardon my ringer. Okay. So when you breathe in, same thing we did at the very beginning of class. You'll come forward, shoulders beyond the wrists, and extend your right leg back behind you. Okay, now listen, you can keep your left toes tucked for now, and I'll describe what we can do later with them. Pivot your right heel in and down, and then you'll come back like your left leg sort of looks like it's in child's pose. You'll bring your left seat towards your heel, and you'll be sort of in a half squat with the right foot flat on the mat and your hands in a little prayer like this. And it's totally made up, so you might need to look at me if you're confused. And then if this is too much in the left toes, untuck them. It actually just feels better to me. You can stay like this, or it also felt interesting to me to sort of forward fold inside of my right leg. Maybe lower the elbows and think kind of Sphinx pose, draw your heart forward. Okay, just one more breath, let the neck go, let the head go. Okay, and then you'll retrace your steps. So you'll walk your hands back forward underneath the shoulders. Good, and then we'll meet in a downward facing dog, but shorten your stance. So you'll walk your feet forward, let's say about an inch or so. Okay, lift your right leg up behind you like the many warrior threes we've done. You could turn your right hand down like we did at the start of class, or right hand out, fingertips out. And then energetically pull your right hand out to the right and see if you can lift your left arm first out to the left. Otherwise, you keep the left fingertips down under the shoulder. Maybe you turn this into a twist with the left chest going up. We did this on the knee at the very start of class. Try to pick your right butt up, left arm up, and then bend your right knee and maybe you grab onto the right foot with your left hand. Try to keep lifting your right butt and pushing your right foot away from you. Right shoulder blade on the back. Take one more breath. Okay, slowly release your left hand back down. Turn your right fingertips forward. Draw your right knee towards your nose and then step the right foot right underneath your belly. Okay. Either come high on your fingertops or hands on blocks. And then you'll float your left leg up behind you like half moon leg. You could keep your left fingertips down on the floor, or you can float your left arm up. The right knee could be quite bent. And then find our half moon. We've only done them on the knee so far. See what it feels like standing strong into your right foot and leg. Good. Take another breath. No back bend for now. Okay, listen. Draw your left knee towards your left elbow. Your chest will square to the floor. Yogi toe lock your left big toe. Try to lift your right hand. And then see if you can come all the way up to stand in Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana B. So your left leg could come straight. It could stay quite bent. Hug your left buttock underneath you. It should feel kind of like triangle pose, just in a different orientation to the floor. Good. Stay 2 more breaths. Maybe you're in tree with the left leg. Okay, you'll let go of the left foot, cross the left ankle in front of the right ankle, hug your outer thighs together, the inseams of your legs together, press through your big toes, and forward fold over the legs. And those of you who would like to, you could hop into Chaturanga. You'll be on just the ball of your right foot. Try to keep your legs crossed. Otherwise, you'll step back right foot and then left foot, legs still crossed. You're on the ball of the left foot as you lower all the way down to the floor. Keep your ankles crossed. The knees will open a little bit as you draw your heels towards your seat. Your forehead can stay on the floor. And then reach back and see if you can grab the feet with your hands. So your right hand is grabbing the left foot and left hand is grabbing right foot. I like to hold right at the top of the arch of the foot. Okay, and then, let's see, I think it's your right shin is the closest one to your seat. Use your right shin to press your left shin away, and maybe you lift the heart up into like a little mini Dhanurasana. And it just felt really interesting to me to do it crossed like this. You'll feel maybe a little more of your outer glutes. It's okay if the knees go wide, but keep pressing your pubic bone down and tilting your heart up. Take another breath like this. You could stay here, just lower your legs straight, lower your head onto your hands, or keep the legs like this and try to roll over onto your right side. And then just pause there. I kind of have the ball of my left foot down on the floor. And then you can come back to the center and maybe roll over to the left side. It felt like a nice sort of pec, outer left shoulder release. And then you'll come back onto the belly. Straighten both of your, actually keep them crossed if you can. So the left ankle's in front of the right. And then you'll come back through hands and knees. And if you have any knee stuff, you might skip this part and uncross the ankles. Otherwise, you'll sit back behind your ankles. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. I'm just sitting like Sukhasana. Then you'll plant your hands behind you and lift up any amount. You might be like on your shins. You might be on the tops of the feet. And then try to feel your outer glutes working with a little bit of softness in the fronts of your hips. I like to keep my eyes straight forward, but if you like throwing the head back, you can. Take another breath in. Good, and then you'll sit back into Sukhasana, and we have one more side to go. So you'll return back to hands and knees with the toes tucked in a child's pose that feels peaceful to you. So you'll take just a breath here to pause. Long exhale. Okay, as you breathe in, come forward. You'll extend the left leg back, the ball of the foot on the floor. Good, and then pivot your left heel down like you were about to do a side plank supported. But then you'll keep going. Walk your hands back. Your right heel will come to your right seat. Your left leg will be in a half squat. Press your palms together at the heart. You can always untuck the toes, which feels a little better to me. Stay upright, or you'll bow forward inside of the left leg. Maybe your elbows come down to the floor. Wherever you are, if you're in the forward fold, think a little more like low cobra in your chest. And one more breath like this. Walk your hands back forward. Come to a hands and knees position, and then a short down dog. So once you find your regular down dog, just walk your feet forward a couple of inches. Okay, and then you'll lift your right leg up. Nope, I lied. You'll lift your left leg up behind you like the warrior 3 leg we've been doing. Very level in your hips. You can turn your left fingertips out if that feels better to you, and then pull your left hand energetically to the left as you reach your right arm out to the side. Keep lifting your left buttock, and then try to push the ceiling away with your right hand. Good. You can always keep the right fingertips down under the right shoulder, which I'm showing here, but still revolving your chest up to the ceiling. Good. One more breath in. Make your left leg longer. Revolve, revolve, revolve. And then you'll lower your right hand, turn your fingertips forward, draw your left knee towards your nose, and you'll step your left foot right under the belly. Okay, come high on your fingertops or blocks. And then you'll begin to lift your right leg up like a half moon leg. The left knee can be bent or straight. And then if you're choosing to, you'll lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, half moon. Landing here, a couple of breaths. Just one more. Okay, and then transition by drawing your right knee towards your right elbow. Firm in the left foot. Push through the left heel. Yogi toe lock your right big toe. And then roll your way up. Hug the right sit bone underneath you. Either straightening the leg or keeping it any amount bent. Maybe tree pose. And then once you arrive, get as tall as you can. Through your inner body, imagine your organs are becoming more spacious. The heart floating up and out of the belly. The kidneys widening. Good. One more breath. Widen through the chest. Good. When you let go of the right foot, you'll cross the right ankle in front of the left. And then pressing through the big toes, forward fold over your legs. Compact your outer hips in. Okay, either hopping through this cross-ankled chaturanga all the way to the floor, or you'll step left and then right foot back. You're still on the crossed legs, and lower yourself all the way down. Okay, keep your forehead down. Keep the ankles crossed. Just bend at the knees. They'll slightly widen on your mat. And then you'll reach back and maybe grab the feet. And now you'll use your left shin. Press your left shin into the back of your right leg to maybe float the chest up. Take a couple of breaths. The knees are wide, but it's not an invitation to go for broke in that way. Still hug them energetically to the midline. And then maybe you get a little momentum and you roll over onto your left side. Maybe the right toes find the floor. Let your left temple, left ear rest. And then come back through the center and maybe take the second side over to the right. Neck nice and relaxed. You'll roll back center. Keeping the ankles crossed, you'll press down through your hands. It's like you're about to pass through a child's pose, but the knees go wide and you sit behind your feet like Sukhasana. And again, I'll turn to show you. So you're just in a regular Sukhasana, the ankles crossed rather than the shins. Plant your either palms or fingertips behind you. And then as you push your hands to the floor, you'll lift your seat any amount. You might also just lift your heart up. Take a couple breaths. Anything you want with the head. And the next time you exhale, you'll come back to sit in Sukhasana. And then we'll take Paschimottanasana. If you prefer, you could do this lying on your back and put your legs up the wall. That might be, for me, a little bit more of a grounding way to come into this forward fold. Otherwise, any amount of a forward fold over the legs, anything you'd like with the arms, and do let your neck release and your head soften. So if you kind of think of this as a spectrum in terms of effort and maybe integration, in my body, it feels better to put a little more effort into it, to wake up the muscles of my legs, to keep extending my heart forward, at least in my 40th year of life. Who knows what will happen. For others, you might feel better going to the opposite end of the spectrum where you completely let go, maybe turning off all effort. And then most of us will probably fall somewhere in between. Wherever you land, take about 5 more breaths in unison with one another. Nice and calm with a clear attention to the breath coming in. Observing the breath going out. One more breath and see if you can have zero effort in the jaw, regardless of what you've chosen for the rest of the body. And then you'll first come up to sit, and you will all meet on the back. And when you get there, you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Maybe you circle them around a couple times in both directions. Okay, so I'll give you about a minute of back bending. I'm going to show a restorative option. If you want to take full wheel or half wheel, you'll go off on your own. If you're taking something restorative, you might use a block or a pillow or even your blanket and bring it underneath the pelvis. If you know supported fish, that might also be a nice supportive back bend here. Choose a place for your arms. It's been feeling really nice to me to have my arms wide. I'm just trying to get as much sort of surface area of my body on the floor to help ground me. And I'll give you about 8 more breaths here. If you're taking a more active back bend like full wheel especially, can you direct the breath very clearly to your kidneys? So they're deep in the body, but near about the level of your lowest ribs of the back body. So you might even think, can I inflate my low back, inflate my kidneys with each inhale? If you're in the active back bend, take about 2 more breaths. And then let's all meet down on the back. When you get there, you'll lift your legs up and your arms up. So seal the inner edges of the feet and the palms of the hands. And then open them out so that your arms come into kind of like a V shape on the floor. And your legs, imagine the pinky sides of your legs pushing something heavy down through the floor. And then just go as wide as you comfortably can. Keep your tail heavy on the mat. But also the low back so that you're not overdoing the low back curve. Good. And when you think you've gone as wide as you want for today, start to tip so it's like your right leg is magnetized to the floor, and press the pinky side of your right leg down into the floor and see if maybe you can open the left leg a little wider. Good. Take a couple more breaths, pressing the pinky side of the right leg down even more vigorously. Good, and then you'll stack the left leg on top of the right, but make your left heel go beyond your right heel as you lower the legs. And then maybe you pike the legs up a little closer to you if that feels good, extending your left heel beyond your right heel. The left shoulder blade might come off the mat a little bit. And then trace a semicircle overhead. So you'll keep your left fingertips on the floor and circle your left arm around until the left bicep is by your left ear. And then keep drawing that half circle until you're lying on the right side. Your left palm will land on the right palm. Then you'll retrace your steps, make your left arm longer, retrace that semicircle overhead, reach and reach and reach, outer left hip away from you. Watch your left arm bone turn in the socket as you come back onto your back. Good, and then you might do this with bent knees or straight legs. It'll be a little bit easier for me, at least with the knees bent. Press down through the backs of both hands.
And try to lift your legs back up to the center, straight up to the ceiling. Good. And then we'll do the left side. Press your palms and your feet together. Float them open, so kind of effortless at first. And then once your arms land, activate the legs a little more and widen them out. Keep the width of the legs and roll over onto the left side of the pelvis until your left leg comes to the floor. And then press your left foot and leg down through the floorboards as you open your right leg maybe a little bit wider. Good. Take another breath. And then as you lower your right leg on top of the left, try to get your right heel to go beyond your left heel. And again, you might feel the right shoulder blade lift a little bit. Pause here a moment. And then we'll take the semicircle with the right arm overhead. Trace the floor behind you until the right arm comes up by the right ear. And then continue the half circle all the way around. Press your palms together. Maybe you bring your legs a little closer to the arms. Reach your right fingertips past your left fingertips. And then retrace your steps, coming all the way back around onto the back. Press through both of your hands, either with bent or straight legs. Pick your legs back up towards the ceiling. Good. And then effortlessly, just let your heels as though they're full of lead plummet down to your seat. And then you'll lift the legs up and heels drop to the seat. Do that about 3 or 4 more times. Try to experience sort of a free fall with gravity of the heels to the seat. When you finish your last one, you'll lower your feet flat on the mat in front of you. And then you have about a minute of yogi's choice before we come to Shavasana. So you might take an inversion. You might take Supta Baddha Konasana, which I'll show here. I've been finding this shape really grounding. It's not one that I usually love, but in these circumstances, it's been really nurturing for me. If you're taking an inversion, you might play with crossing at your ankles and hugging the legs to the midline. And then this will be about a minute. I'm starting my clock now. You're about halfway through. In the next 4 or so slow breaths, you'll transition your way to Shavasana. You can also do legs up the wall or legs on a couch or bed. You still have a couple of breaths to join us. No rush. Wherever you're landing in your Shavasana, be deliberate with where you place the arms. Sometimes that's just an afterthought. But try to bring them to a position where the neck and the head can release all effort down, yielding down with gravity. Breathe into the kidneys, the low back, the sacrum. Taking a couple of breaths like that. And you can choose to stay on your back or to come up to a seated posture for our closing Om. If you're coming up to sit, move very slowly and you'll gradually make your way up. Take about 5 or so breaths to get there. Maybe pausing in the fetal position. Once you've made your way up to sit, or if you're staying on your back, you'll just bring the palms together at the center of the chest. And slacken the jaw, the eyes. And we'll finish here again with an Om shooting up and out of the crown of your head. Take a breath in. May all beings be at peace and be free, and may our actions contribute to the peace and the freedom of others. No exceptions. And thank you all so much.